Hello, everyone, and welcome back to JaianMusic Notes, where anime soundtracks meet arrangement and storytelling. I am your host, JaianMusic, and today we are going to deep dive into the haunting world of Soul Eater. We haven't talked about Soul Eater yet. I've covered a lot of Soul Eater tracks in the past. I've done some on anime anthems, but today we're specifically talking about the ghostly track Salve Maria. So, Salve Maria is one of those background melodies that just crawls into the Soul Eater series here and there. It's unsettling. It whispers through darker moments of the anime, and it's got this weird dissonance to it that I really like. I go for the weird tracks, clearly. So today, I'm going to talk about my reinterpretation of this track. It's a music box inspired reimagining that I created with a bunch of toy pianos from Omnisphere, deep plate reverbs, shimmering delays. But before we go too much into all of that, I want to take a quick pause and thank the sponsor of the podcast, Laser Audio Technologies. They make premium plugins for artists and turn your sound into magic. So whether you're an aspiring composer or a seasoned professional, Laser Audio plugins will elevate your textures and all of your music and your sound. So if you use code JaianMusic at checkout, you get 30% off and support the show while you're at it. And every dollar from that code goes straight back into the podcast, such as GoPro Kyo, who does all of the artwork. His links are in the description. Okay. So, Salve Maria is one of those lesser known yet very sonically striking and pleasing pieces in Soul Eater. It's composed by Taku Iwasaki, a very eclectic composer, very talented in anime scores. Iwasaki's composition for Soul Eater bounced between a bunch of different genres, and Salve Maria is part of this almost sacred music type of track. It's feels a little bit like Lilium from Elfen Lied. I made an episode about that, so go check it out in the archives. In Soul Eater, this piece underscores like darker moments. It's often just a morale paradox for me. And you know, the track is very minimalistic. There's only a few things coming here in and out. So let's deep dive into the cover. So I started and ended the piece with a toy piano motif. Every sound that you hear in that cover is all toy piano. It's very fragile and deliberate. It gives this sort of book ending to the cover where it's circular and dreamlike. You could listen to this on repeat. It's almost got like that 10-hour version to it. You could let this play for a while. And the main instrumentation, like I said, it's all different toy pianos that I took from Omnisphere. Some of them are Celestes, some of them are mono, some of them are glockenspiel layers. They all have their different qualities. Some have more of a high-end sparkle, more of a metallic resonance. And of course, the main piano melody is very brittle. So it opens with a main piano melody, climaxes with all these layers of other toy pianos, and then it closes out with that same toy piano quality. That's why I say it has this repetition to it, because it's like A, B, A. That's it. A, B, A. Very simple. Very short. Cover runs for another 2 minutes. It's actually a minute long. It's actually exactly a minute long. A minute and 1 second if you count the tail of reverb. Speaking of reverb, so for the main melody, I used a dark plate reverb, giving it depth without too much brightness, helping the notes bloom and decay with a haunting trail. The shimmer delay on the support instruments adds this ethereal glow, letting certain phrases echo like distant bells. I also applied a reverb that has a slow diffusion attack and modulated chorusing. What does that all mean? basically, in simpler term, it gives this piece an evolving and floating atmosphere. Diffusion and modulating chorusing just means, like I said, the point of this podcast is not to nerd out too hard on technical things. It's for music enthusiasts. It's like a sound that's changing in slow motion. It's taking its time to disperse or to immerse with the reverb quality. The original melody of Salve Maria is super simple. It's a very tension-built motif with little interval leaps, and almost has a religious tone to it. So I lean into that, with subtle velocity variations, bringing out vulnerability and unpredictability in the phrasing. And I treat the melody almost like a little whisper, like something that's not something that's performed, but like remembered. It's something that just kind of lays there and happens. And what I really like also about the toy patches here, the toy piano patches in Omnisphere, is they're so well made. You can literally hear like the background sounds of people manipulating said toy piano. That's how precise this recording feels like. And these were obviously all pan in the stereo field, so it's more open. It's not just down the middle like a mono mix type of thing. I know some people, they love their mono mixes in 2025, which blows my mind. But, an aesthetic is an aesthetic. So, there's only so much I can say about Salve Maria. It runs under a minute. It's not a long piece, but, it always stood out to me. It's a type of track that lives in the shadows of the series, but still leaves an imprint. So reworking it with toy pianos and giving it that ambient texture that I love. I love my ambient textures. Feels nostalgic to me. So if you enjoyed this breakdown and want to hear more reimaginings like it, check out all of my albums, all of my music, and all of the following podcast episodes. JaianMusic in your favorite music player, and JaianMusic Notes in your favorite podcatcher. And if you haven't heard the original Soul Eater soundtrack in a while, I really recommend visiting it, putting on your best pair of headphones, and enjoying Iwasaki's work. That's deeply underrated in my opinion. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcaster. Like I said, go give GoPro Keo a follow. He does all of the artwork. Laser Audio Technologies. If you want to get some plugins, some awesome plugins to get 30% off, you use code JaianMusic. So thank you, everyone. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.